Oh, Facebook. I don't owe any rights to this song, bro. Yep. Everybody, hello. Breezy. Hands, Breezy, cheers. What's up? There you go. Talking to you about Ellen Gorman, but people tired. You see the reason why we ask what the government betray. They happy now, but time but they're scared they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Yeah, man. Your vision and your mission, your intention. Jared, what's up, my brother? You got nothing to show. Nothing. Hey, Facebook, no copyright to this song. We own it all. Our man Takunji. I was thinking for this song. This song will be a lifetime song. For all Liberian government are lying to the people. They're fooling the people. Betraying the people, betraying the cause. Yeah, man. Yeah, so my begin is on Facebook, but I can't see your name. But yeah, yesterday was a hectic day. I had a series of meetings. I had some work to do. So this stuff was now a priority. So we had to find a slot. It's time. Napoleon, what's up? Hope all is well. Very deceitful. Hey God, they gotta change, yo. Emmanuel, what's up? Hey. Oscar Gino, if you happy with Weah'S, they did 12 years. Ronald Mohammed, what's up? Assalamu alaikum, my brother. Okay. Weah'S. I'm not sure what happened here. This is saying my browser lost communication. What's going on? Okay, I'm back. I don't know what happened. Well, Ruth, this beginning of the end of 2023 is left with the people. The people control the future. Wilfred, what's up? Hi, folks. You can share the link. Share the link. This hopefully won't be too long. We're just here to establish some points and make clear where we stand on so many issues. Let's keep our people informed. So Wonder, I hope you got a video now. I hope the video is there. For some reason, when I rest my phone on this side of my computer, the right side, it shuts it down. I don't know why that dynamic is. I can't explain it. I've asked a couple of IT people, no explanation, but that's what it is. So, hey, share the link, so we can just start this conversation. It's a short conversation. We don't have to be too many. People will carry the discussion, or people will come and listen to it later. You know, it's that time of the day. Some people are busy. Let me get this call. I'll put myself on mute here, and then. Okay, folks. I mean, you know, uh, so first, I want to start off and say again, with the Costa view or picture situation, his nude pictures that were being distributed, I want to just make it clear that I think it's totally wrong to distribute those in a public space. Um, People do make mistakes, and I'm sure Henry regrets that particular situation, but it's out there now. So it's out there now, and he has to address it. I think he feels he has addressed it. People feel differently, especially those who feel they know him or know people who know him in that probably intimate fashion. So that dispute will be there. But many people say they expected him to, reject it. But I think there should be some level of disappointment, outrage from many of the advocates who talk about these things. Um, it's not right. At some point, in many of us vulnerabilities, there are probably pictures, images, videos out there that we don't want out here. Unfortunately, somebody released his. We just hope that people can be conscious enough to stop circulating those images. So, in this way, I just want to denounce the act. And again, like I said before, we got all these fake advocates out here who pretend they, are behind a cause, but they're not behind a cause, and they're not behind the realities of the issue. Um, it's just, the situation on him, so he has to address it. But let's go to the Costa call with President Weah. It was funny when they attributing my smile and my laugh to having a call with President Weah big yeah. President Weah can be miserable when he told me. My laugh and smile will always be there. It's not about somebody else doing it for you, and that's something we all got to learn. Your happiness is from within. It depends on you, who you are, how you want to be, how you want to engage people, what your outlook is. That's what determines your happiness. If you're miserable inside, I don't care how many nice people around you, you're not smiling. So your happiness is really dependent on you. and how you engage people, So that's just what it is. Um, Pastor Bud Naked. So Costa came on supposedly with a breath of fresh air called transparency to share with his people his conversation with President Weah. So, like he said, it's okay for the president to call his citizens, right? But we know the kind of critical times we're in, the political times we are in. We know the disadvantage this government has created for itself and the hole it's in, and how much work it would take for them to dig themselves out. So, to get somebody who can parrot the messages seamlessly is something that we will try to drive for, because it's so hard to defend incompetence, to defend corruption, to defend mismanagement, to defend negligence. And for somebody to defend this government are basically more of what they have to do. In the absence of a 180-degree turnaround, where they just flip this whole switch and start to do the right things, no way. No way. It's not going to happen. So they need somebody, because you look in the government communication sphere, they don't have nobody there who commands a significant portion of the population that people can listen to. Unfortunately, sometimes the people listening themselves don't grasp the the gravity of some of the things they are hearing, or the nonsense in some of the things they are hearing. So that's just something that we have to deal with. It was interesting. We know how Henry has referred to the president over time with absolutely no respect, in very, very negative terms. But what did we see yesterday, or day before yesterday? We saw a complete turnaround. The man, the Weah man who he said was not tolerant, especially when it came to him and to other people, suddenly became tolerant. The man you were calling Sanama Swan every day started calling him as a president. The man you used to call like hostile, or call a rogue, or call whatever, you call him magnanimous. And again, he said you're being transparent, you're being honest, you're being engaging. We are. And he's supposedly they were arguing, debating. But the first basic thing, going back to the time he met the man, when they had a debate, supposedly a religious debate, and he could not even tell him, no, you didn't win the debate. He said he just agreed. So the man who he used to call Mumu before, now you're calling him a great debater, encouraging that. He used to call we are dumb-headed. Now we are mature. So if the people who follow Costa, or the people who are observing this whole governance situation, cannot see that flip from where he was to where he is after one supposed phone call, even though many people don't believe that's the first phone call, or that the origin of this whole thing is from a friend of his who called, oh, man, you told your big brother for a long time. And those who believe that, they're okay. We saw it. Gradually, it has been happening. Costa talking about his friend, the Solicitor General, a corrupt CFOS man who just flamboyant and try to twist the law to any way he wants to twist it. Call him that. His friend. Then McGill. He fumbled McGill. He called McGill his friend and he said, oh, my used to be friend. So he not even show how to present some of these people. And that's it. Sadly, in our population, the people who don't have the mind of their own, or who are not critical thinkers, They will believe, they will fall for it, you know. And you see, most of our people, we're not ideas driven. We are people driven. We just support somebody blindly because that the man we're supporting. Until it really becomes negative for us, then we switch. Then we wake up. I just hope our Liberian people can wake up to see what's happening. Because, and this will not even be slow. I thought it will come and be a slow transition, but most likely it won't be. So Costa will probably be in Liberia before July. You gotta need him. This government badly need somebody who had dry face enough to just praise the government regardless of what. All the stupid thing the government doing. They need somebody who will spin it, somebody who will praise it. And so that's why, as much as we are probably detest Costa, as much as Costa has insulted him and said all kind of negative thing about him, at this point, Weah wants to retain the presidency. Not that he really wants to do the job of the president, not that he's interested in governing our country, but the benefits of the presidency is what he wants to enjoy. That platform, that bullet platform, he wants to enjoy, where nearly 80-90% of the nation are just sycophants to him, whether they like him or not, whether they believe him or not. They will just bow, kiss his ring. Yes, sir, Chief. Yeah, Papi. Yeah, Mr. President. That's what he wants. He's a glutton for praise. And that's what, somebody like Costa will give him. That's what Samuel 12 gave him. McGill a question. I mean, you a grown man. Your name is McGill. And year over year, somebody calls you McGee. You can't even say, no, Chief, my name is McGill. That's the height of sycophancy. So McGill is where he is because of that. But that's beside the point. Henry has baited his people and he's switching on them because it's about Henry. It's about how he can make his living, how he can keep his platform. He doesn't care if he loses on people because he knows most of our people are not critical thinkers to really analyze the situation, see the trend, see the direction he's going, see how he will slack off in legitimate criticism of this government and say, oh, but people are trying. Oh, but people are doing this. Oh, nobody has ever done this. We'll hear that a lot coming from Henry Costa. Honestly, I'll be totally shocked if Henry maintains the level of consistency in his criticism of this government. It will not high. I can see it happening. He will gradually come from here, go be on a 50-50 level, and by August, September, it will be an 80-20 level. No, for those who are not informed, I believe the Ministry of Justice issued a statement, and I can share with you. It was today, March 24th. The Ministry of press release now. The Ministry of Justice has re-echoed the olive branch of peace recently extended to talk show host Mr. Henry Pedro Costa by the President of Liberia, George Manning Weah, urging Mr. Costa to return to Liberia and live freely like any other citizen. So, as much as Henry was saying, oh, it was not about reconciliation, blah, 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 the Justice Ministry says it was an olive branch of peace, right? And they issue a press release today announcing with immediate effect that in line with the president's olive branch of peace, all criminal charges, including but not limited to any and all formal criminal investigations against Mr. Costa, are hereby dropped. And Mr. Costa is free, like any other Liberian citizen, to return home anytime he wishes. So, as much as I'm happy for the bogus criminal charges that were against Henry to be dropped, this shows again that the executive runs the judicial system. So there's No clear rationale from a legal perspective as to why the charges have been dropped, but it's simply on the whim of the president. So we see where that goes, where our justice system is. President, arrest the man who arrested him. Just have my life was threatening based on that same kind of situation. With them having that discussion and wanting to kill me, which I know for a fact they did want to do. That's how the president runs the justice system. And again, he used Costa. So now Costa, when I guess the combination of his sycophancy and trying to use a level to increase its value to people, will say anything or do anything. So he was parroting what the president was saying, the lies the president was giving him about they picked me up at the border. That's a complete lie. I was not at the border. They drove me to the border. I was in TNE where they picked me at the checkpoint, where they arrested me at the checkpoint. So he lied. The press release lied. I was never at the border. I was never trying to cross the border. And then they said, oh, how did they pick me up? How did an obscure immigration officer at a checkpoint in TNE know Azevar Tupa? No way. They distributed my pictures to all the different sites. And it's not like I was hiding. I was trying to give myself breathing space. So it's just sad that this government will continue to lie. That's why we listen to our man Takunji. They lie. But sometimes your lies catch up with you because lies are hard to prove. You can't prove your lie. So the release continues. The release reminded Mr. Costa that the seizure of his broadcast equipment through the appropriate court process was due, they forgot the tool, but due to his willful and deliberate violation of the constitutional freedom of expression, and therefore calls on him to use the presidential olive branch of peace to live and operate within the confines of the law, I hope, by upgrading the standards of his advocacy beyond the borders of recrimination and misinformation for the progressive development of the country. So you hear the marching order for Costa? He got to upgrade the standards of his advocacy beyond the borders of recrimination and misinformation for the progressive development of the country. Basically, that's telling him, don't criticize us. Don't share information that we don't want to give out, that we don't want the people to know, so we can have a free pass. And that is exactly what will happen. That is exactly what will happen. Jala, I can bring you on. I can send an invite link to you for you to come on. These kind of engagements, we can't be selfish with it. We want to include more people. Like we are going to formulate a show very soon as old heads, young heads. Jala, check your WhatsApp, I'll send a link to you if you want to come on. Old heads, young heads, that will focus on engaging our young people. And it's not a male-dominated show. We want females to be there. Older females, younger females. We really need to have a conversation and engage each other in an intergenerational fashion about all the different issues in our country. It's not going to be restricted to only politics. It's going to be economic. It's going to be social. It's going to be relational. The issues, any issue or any important factor in our overall development as a country will be on the table for this show. So hopefully there will be more people out there who don't mind being a part of the old heads, young heads, where people come together from different generations to be able to discuss some of these things we're discussing. But to get back, to where we were about this whole discussion, this call between Henry Costa and George Weah, where he said he's being transparent. I just hope those folks who are his followers, folks who are in COP and believe that they are patriots, can go on the line of the issues not on the line of, where our leader will go, because most times that's what it is. Most of our people are not thinking for themselves. They're not moved by their own inspiration, their own convictions. They are guided by the convictions of other people and how they want to engage, which is very difficult. It is very, very difficult when you're not a rational person, you're not a critical thinking person, to be able to have your own mind. So the mindset of many of our people are not owned by themselves. They are subjected to hero worship. It's like they want a savior. And even when that savior doesn't meet up to the requirements, the basic requirements of being a savior, being a role model, being an example, they still stuck there, simply because they're only looking for a savior. They're not looking for self-empowerment, self-elevation, self-edification, trying to reach out to different kind of people, get diverse thoughts that can help them mold themselves and move forward. No, they want to sit there and just be given one little command. So until our people start to change their mindset and start to build on their own capabilities, and I really believe we are smart people. Most of the people I've sat in classrooms with are really engaged in deep thought. We're better than many of the other professionals we have engaged. Unfortunately, we don't exercise that enough. We don't try to include so many more people in the process. So let me add illusions and I will continue. Illusions, you got multiple vibes coming through. You want, yeah, okay. If you can mute that music or turn it down, that would be appreciated, I'm sure, by the audience. Okay. So, President, we are saying he called the U.S. Embassy. Hey, Aloysius, how you doing? Welcome. Just hold on 1 second. Just go on mute. Go on mute for a second. Yeah. So, Aloysius will introduce himself shortly, but I just want to finish this thought about the whole border situation, the lie by President Weah, the lie that he called the U.S. Embassy. He initiated the It was based on actually the people, the Liberian people, who felt that me being in the hands of the Liberian government meant I was about to die. They are the one I owe my life to. They are the ones who initiated all the action, calling the embassy, including my wife, of course, calling the embassy, calling the lawmakers here, calling people in Liberia, even threatening people in Liberia. So I personally say thank you to those people, because I know for a fact that Weah and his crew wanted me dead. That's not even a question. That's obvious. So they shouldn't use that excuse. They shouldn't try to use Henry platform to back them, because he actually was the one who came in my inbox because I had written a rebuttal to the nonsense he posted about the whole CPP situation with regards to the documentation and the process and the signing and all of that. So he was angry. And in his anger, he was to use the book and to make Weah come after me. Yeah, he was successful in that, but what does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. The fact is, the CPP has been undermined by the Unity Party, the portion of, how should I say, expel people from the Liberty Party, plus the ALP that initiated a lawsuit. They have destroyed the opposition key vehicle to use. But Liberian people should not be focused on that, because regardless of where people will say, the CPP will have either been Joseph Boyka coming as the lead or Alexander Cummings as coming as the lead. If both of them individually want to contest, because it seemed that Joseph Boyka was scared to come into a competitive situation with regards to a primary, that's fine. They can individually compete. But at the end of the day, the Liberian people have to decide if Joseph Boyka or Alexander Cummings comes second or first, and Weah becomes second, and they go in that second round, who would they choose and why would they choose that person? Those questions have to be answered. And all patriotic Liberians need to find a way that they can get to 10 or no, even 5 or 10 or 20 people and conscientize them and say, tell them who to vote for. but just conscientize them on what the issues are and what directions they need to go into. Our people need a lot of learning. Our people don't get to that level of understand, have not gotten to that level of understanding what democracy is yet. It's still hidden from them, even though we have been democratic country since our independence, since 1847. But we don't really have a democratic mindset. We are not independent. That one vote is not based on somebody's own intuition, somebody's own critical thinking, somebody's own analysis, and somebody's own conviction. A lot of time it's crowd think or it's personality worship, personality following. So we just have to change the mindset of our people to work with them to move them forward. But let me add Jala to the stream, and he can introduce himself, and we can hear a little bit from him. Jala, I hope your network working, because it looks like it's not working. Jenkins, I am coming back to Liberia for us to work for the good of the country. I am working for the good of the country right now as I speak. But the conditions for you to say bring my children, no, my children are grown. My children are adults. My children are 21, 21, 23 this year, and then 31, 32 this year. So it's not like I can control my children. No. And not like I may have new babies. No, I'm done. I can't chase beyond no child anymore. So yes, we are coming to push our country forward. It's up to my children to come. My son chose his major because he wants to make an impact on the transportation systems in Liberia. So he did transportation engineering. Because when I took them to visit the number of hours we spend in traffic, he wants to re-engineer traffic in Liberia. That's his mindset. My nieces are out there too. Oh yes, I really believe that. If the Liberian people vote for President Weah, then they deserve what they get. Weah has failed. The CDC government has failed. If the people can see that and they want to vote for President Weah, I really believe in democracy. I really believe if that's the choice they want to make, let them make that choice. But then let them see a suffocated and suppressed economy. It got to be like a complete 180-degree turn for the mindset of this current government, for it to really change that drastically, for them to help our people. If it can't change, they're not going to help our people. It's going to be the same old, same old. People will continue to suffer. And it's not like the global situation is, all peachy. No, it's not. There are exogenous, outside of our country factors, global factors that drive what happens in our country. Because what? We are driven by only exports primarily. We have not diversified our economy like we're in the CDC, like we talk about. We have not. We have not even tried. We're not on the path. I was excited about the opportunity for agriculture with this government. But how has the agricultural leader moved forward? It hasn't. So there's a lot of work that we need to do, especially really, really. It starts from us, the people. It starts from us educating our fellow Liberians on what democracy is, on what responsible citizenship is, on what our constitution is and what it says, what rights they have. Most people don't even know rights are consistently violated, and people don't even know they are. People don't even have the mindset to advocate in their own area, especially those areas with all the natural resources and the extraction, the level of extraction in our country today of natural resources. I think it's the highest it's ever been. But what difference is it making for our people? What benefits? Those people from those areas who have the insight, the intellect, they got to be able to illuminate those people's minds and explain to them where things are. So where we are now with the desperation from this government wanting to get a second term, for George Weah, that's why they will try to compromise as many people as they can. And it seems like, Henry is just right on the path of that. He's excited for sure, because what does it mean for him? It probably means some money. It probably means less criticism from the CDC people. Then he gets, his platform. He gets his radio station back. And obviously he will be pushing the government messages on that station. And he can always say, oh, that not me, or that other people on the station doing it. You know, who knows? Or maybe he may have elevated from being a regular talk show host, and maybe he'll just be a station owner. Who knows? But the reality is, Costa is in a transition. He has compromised the opposition. I honestly feel sorry for Joseph Boyka. You know, I wish, Costa will not run away from the puppet. But for a fact, from where our country is and where we want to go, and some of the conversations Costa and I have had about moving this country forward, I don't see how, Joseph Boyka was an option. Now, don't get me wrong now. I believe Joseph Boyka will be a better alternative than George Weah. But I don't see how most progressive Liberians who want something different, want to change, were choosing Joseph Boyka. So no one has convinced me yet on what Joseph Boyka brings to the table, given the challenges we have as a country, the economic issues, the social issues, the political issues, the governance system, and all underlying systems involved with that. I don't see how he, as an individual, as a leader, can change that. I just don't see it. So maybe those who see it, they can try to convince me. A flexible person, I can listen. But they haven't come up with anything yet to move me in that direction. So I'm not even thinking about it. So again, there's a lot of alignment here. They seem disappointment that, many citizens are feeling with George Weah. And there are many. The reality, people think that the citizens didn't know that Weah was incompetent. They knew. I mean, we had so many discussions. But the assumption was that the party would be more forceful because there was an ideology in the party about changing the system, about making a difference for the people. It just never sufficed. It failed. It really failed. It's just very, very disappointing, this failure by the CDC government, because this government was expected to really make a difference for the people, change the lives of the people, elevate them out of poverty, do something, not necessarily from a socialist perspective, but a democratic perspective that looked down at the downtrodden, the less fortunate, the people who did not have the opportunity to move forward and create those opportunities that every Liberian can have an affordable life. That never happened. And that's what we want to happen. That's what we are looking forward to. That's the kind of leadership we are looking forward to. I don't know that, Vice President Boyka represents that. So it's not an easy thing. We understand, people are stuck on who they like and who they don't like. And that's what most time politics is about in Liberia, or who can get them money, who can get them money. Not the future, not the children's future, not from a patriotic perspective of, is this best for the country? What is the change this individual can bring? What have we seen different from this individual that leads us to believe that it will be the right kind of leader? It happens in the lower house elections, it happens in the Senate elections, it happens in national elections. So there's an issue here that we have to work with our people to teach them. Education is extremely, not formal education, just education of where we are as a nation, what we are supposed to be as a nation, having been so long in this nationhood, what opportunities we should have given the resources we have, given the riches of this country, given the potential opportunities that when other people come, they see. But unfortunately, when other Liberians who do see, they're not all Liberians are blind. Don't get me wrong. There are many Liberians who see the glorious opportunity to make a difference. But a lot of times the investment is stamped on, or if they come in, the people try to steal the ideas. And most times, I don't care what you do. If you try to steal some idea, if it's on paper, you're not going to be successful, because there's so much other things around that idea that not on paper, that that you can't comprehend, or you don't understand how they bring it together. Okay, so somebody writes down a concept, they can detail that concept. That doesn't mean you, the uninformed person, can come and implement that concept. So even if you steal the concept from them, most times you'll not be successful. So we'll take a minute and look at some of the comments. There have been some interesting comments that will have me laughing. going up and down. So we'll share some of the comments. Again, I want to say thank you to all of you who came on. That whole thing is just, that whole call is just about desperation from both sides. Okay. Weah is desperate. He needs some kind of voice. He needs some kind of reduction in the level of criticism that's going against his government. At the same time, Costa does not have that level of confidence in Joseph Boycott. And he probably has insulted Cummings so much, he probably may not want to capitulate and say, yes, I was wrong in insulting this man, or conniving with these people to go against him. So he doesn't want to do that. So what's his alternative? Let him try to work with Weah, like he said. Get that friend, former friend, whatever. But I have friend, they go way back from the Tubman days. So he might get picking. Yeah. So he following his big brother. But we know where that goes. We know where that has come from. And more Liberians should be resolved to see what direction this country going, to be committed that it goes in the right direction. And again, I'm very clear on where I stand. If the Liberian people really feel that George Weah leadership would be best for the country, they can vote George Weah in. Because at the end of the day, they will live that life. So, but we know what our partners are saying, our key partners, the US, we know what they're saying. It's a kleptocratic government. Okay. Dana came in and said, you, the Liberian people, we, the Liberian people, we need to stand up. If we can't stand up for ourselves, how somebody will stand up for us? If we cannot express our discontent with this government, and you don't let me read the Constitution to you, because the people have the right to change their government at the time when they don't feel it. That's a democratic right. Then again, the Constitution is clear. Power is inherent in the people. You got to exercise that power. You got to be expressive. So let's see what some others are saying. Yeah. Napoleon Sosu, my own brother. Francis Jawe Yafo. Oscar Dino. Oscar Dino said, President, we are 12 years show. Yeah. It's highly possible. There's some power to the incumbency. But it's only if the people don't recognize that that incumbency has not served them over the 6 years that they gave that incumbency, and then they can make a change. So it's up to them. Yeah, Wilfred Kalon, great to see you, man. Hey, Labrador we do. Country devil. Ah, you add a country to your name, but the devil didn't know you from the country. Hey, you go, the other devil, yeah. I'm full on now, devil, not real. Olivia Moore. What's up, Olivia? Dixon, do I don't think you were late. I think you were on time. Emeka. Obiami way. Belly driven picking cause I don't. Oh, Facebook user, I can see your name, but you say I got my girlfriend weird. I was smiling. No, man, I'm happy. Life is good. We gotta smile. We gotta engage. That's one of the biggest gifts anybody have. That ability to make themselves happy, to smile, and more people need to do it. Miata Dakina, how you doing? I hope all is well. There you go. Victoria Chicks, Victoria, he has. No regret for you guys going around with lies. I don't know who going around with lies. Try to be specific next time. Hey, the other Meg is at the end of the show. You need to tell your audience what you were discussing with President Weah about a few minutes ago. Is about transparency. No, I had no discussion with Weah on beginning. Franco. Hey, Franco, what you got a man pass a butt nigga for? And I will read a part about you saying Costa as a total fraud. Okay, so this person asked a question. What if he calls you? Are you not going to miss going home at some point during his presidency? Who said I won't go home during Weah presidency? I'm going home soon. As soon as I'm ready to, I'll go home. You can't stop me from coming to my country. Samuel Cole. We're going to talk that. No, and he called me. It depends on what he called me for. I'm polite. I'll respond and answer. But I'm not coming all at Costa, beaming because Joe Weah called me. No, that's my own opposition. The problem in Liberia is politics is nothing negative is off the table. One thing I realize is the sensationalized news is about is most important than getting human living standard problems resolved. That's a fact. Whoever this person was, Liberia will forever be backwards as a result. I know if we can all work to educate our people, I think we can change that. We don't always have to be backward, bro or sis. Because Costa exposed your attitude to womanhood. So no, Daniel Fambuen. No, Costa didn't expose anything. That's not my attitude. No, it's not. I'm actually a major advocate for women issues. We wrote an unauthorized biography. We did reach out to Weah'S. And it was not to give us permission to write the book. It was to see whether he wanted to partner, wanted to be a part of it, wanted to give information. A subject does not control what you write about them. This is a democratic space we are in. You can write anything about anybody. You haven't seen him deny what's in the book. You haven't seen him say he didn't say those things. He said those things to people. And those are people we interview and they put in the book. And we put in the book. Okay? I didn't jump from nowhere to know all those things. No. And that book was started in 2016 before Weah became president. So it was not something that was directed at him. And for those who can read, who want to purchase the book, you realize the book is very positive about Weah. George Weah had a storied career, a storied life from where he came from to where he is today. It's just that he's screwing it up. Sadly, there's still time for him to turn it around. But he has a storied life. And the book, 85 to 90% of the book is extremely positive. But like any human being, he has his negatives. And some of them are bad. He talks about people. He talks about women. When he drinks, he doesn't have a filter. He just say anything he wants to say. So, and he's petty too, you know. So all those things, human beings have negative traits and stuff. Those are some of his, and the book is about him. So the positive is there, the reality is there, the negatives are there. It's up to people to read the book. You don't read a book, you don't know. So for somebody to take an excerpt and say they're using it for him to get angry and want to kill me, that's their business. But that can't stop me from going to Liberia. No. And besides, I'm 60 now, 60 plus. I turned 60 in February 26th. I live my life. The life I've enjoyed, some people will live 100 years, they would never get there. They would never enjoy it. So what is it if I go to Liberia, somebody attack me, trying to make a history for Weah or Weah himself and his goons attack me and I die? Big deal. Everybody will die. Some people rescuing will kill them. Some people dying right now as we speak. So death is not something some of us scared of, but they don't mean you have to rush into it. No. To the extent that you can avoid it, that you can take a break, you can extricate yourself from a situation and then be able to come back. Yeah. But there's nothing that stops me from going back to Liberia. I ain't gonna make no crime. I was not a fugitive like Henry Costa. No. So I hope you understand now. What's your name? Daniel. I hope you understand. And you won't call me on the side for us to have more conversation. I'm always open. Herodotus, you guys are giving Henry Costa relevance in the country. Stop discussing Henry Costa, who is seeking support left and right. No, he needs the support. His image is definitely bruised. He will need some support. And that call was also to be used as a diversionary tactic to move on to different things. Yeah, but that doesn't mean we can't come back to where he is. Yeah, he'll come back to that. Yeah, it was damage control. Isa Kofa, that's a fact. There you go. The other person said Liberia is in some deep IS-ish. Well, but we gotta dig it out. I don't care what kind of situation you're in. Liberians have to dig it out. Liberians have to develop that ability to want to turn our country around. Nobody will do it for us. We have to do it ourselves. Fonjo. Oh my God, Titi Nimna, I'm even repeating what you're saying. Fonjo, back in LU, soup parties and call it political prostitution and grass happen. Yeah, you know. But we gotta understand though, it's somebody's choice to move. That's one of the democratic choices we have. That's in our constitution, the freedom of association. Because I can choose who he wants to associate with. But that also means that we have the right to talk about that kind of association, especially when it's a drastic turnaround from where he has positioned himself in the opposition. But again, sometimes when people are belly driven, they will do what they need to do to fill that belly. George Molobar, Costa is a complete opportunist. Alice Siaka, I'm watching you from Baltimore. Hi, Alice. Facebook user, yes, or allow them, just follow. Yes. we need critical minds among our people. Our people don't just need to follow their leaders or the people who they think are the leaders. People need to start being able to analyze the situation. And it takes all of us trying to help and educate our people on these things. The great Moloba Yowa, the Deputy Chief of Staff for Strategic Outreach and Engagement, DCOSOE. That board title, that small title. Ronald said Costa has a criminal case, but again, it has been wiped off the books, okay, by our imperial president. So it's been out. Wilfred Calon, Costa is a flip flop. I'm not surprised. To Costa, GMB was a dead man walking. Now GMB is the best thing that's ever happened. Well, if he sticks with GMB, fine, but let Costa go on the other side. TD Nimnen, but it's up to Liberian people who suffer and support this small. TD, you can't stop. Miata, oh my God, these women are hard. Child Lodgers will try to bring you on, but for some reason you couldn't stay. Kefla Kamara Costa has never stood for anything. Hustler Costa was happy for the government coming after you. Let Henry go get himself arrested out of the government nonsense. All right. Yes, Isaac Kofa and those criminals got a man of high esteem in court about some so-called criminal conspiracy theory against the man. That built his career, beginning of man built his career and character over the years. Real changes on trial. Yes, it is. Our whole justice system is on trial with that case. And hopefully people can wake up and see the reality in that case. TD Nimle, Costa is a con artist that does not want to work in the USA. But Costa, Costa has no experience, no formal experience. Yeah, he did his degree, but where has he worked? So you're right. Probably getting a job, a regular job, $50,000 job, that would be difficult for Costa. My son just graduated. He got 55. His offer is 55,000. He's starting with, so it's good for him. But Costa will get a job. Costa not used to working. Costa get up early in the morning, does his show, and then the hustle is on. So you can knock him for it. That's what he wants to do. That's the choice of the individual. GMB will be disappointed, maybe, but maybe Costa will stay. Yeah, Jenkins, I already responded to you. It's not like we're not coming, and it's not like we're not working with people in Liberia right now. We are, and that's the beauty of where the world is today, with the level of globalization, the level of immediate engagement with people from anywhere in the world right now. It's just our country, again, we need to build infrastructure. It needs to be better. You guys saw that Aloysius Jala wanted to come on, but again, the network over there was giving me a hard time. But once those things can be better, look, with just a little bit technology, Liberia has the potential to take a huge leap, okay? Because technology facilitates a lot of things. Do we know how much productive hours we lose because we don't have electricity in the night? Significant. And now with the whole LEC even getting worse, the dry season and all of that is even worse. There's so many times that you want to connect with people, you can't, simply because they don't have electricity, they haven't charged their phones, they can't do this, they can't do that. So we're losing a lot. For Liberia to move forward, we really, really need electricity. We need 24 hours grinding, doing the work of the people. That's what we need. Jenkins Mabane, in your mind, if not we are, who should and why? Oh, well, that's an easy question. That's an easy question to answer, Jenkins. In my mind, I believe Mr. Cummings should be the one. And why? Because of what Mr. Cummings brings to the table. His experience, his understanding of the dynamics, his network that's out there, his ability to bring certain people to the table to work with him and to help us in this effort, his own natural leadership abilities, that means understanding the issues, being able to engage on a diverse number of topics, and then that ability he has to recognize other professionals, to know that he doesn't know everything, that he can listen, he can take ideas from multiple people, synthesize them, and come to a reasonable, rational decision. Those are the kind of leadership traits we see. And I was just listening to some other stuff today. It's not like we knew that George Weah was going to be able to govern this country. I mean, and this discussion was with somebody who was a lawmaker and just saying that Joe had no understanding of what they were discussing in the legislature. But we really expected that George Weah would have put the right people around him. But the way things flipped from day one, it really shocked some of us. The way all the things we're talking about, people just ran away from them and just shifted. But that's another talk that will be more prevalent come 2023 when we are talking about positioning in elections and everything. It's just sad that the CDC, the party, the philosophy of the party was never integrated into this government, never took a stand. They just let Weah and the Weah sycophants run everything at the distress of the party. So I don't know if the party can ever have a spine to stand up because it seems like things have gone all the way on the other side. Yo, that's a fact. TD Nimle, La Brempo, one president we are. They can have president we are. Some of us, will do our best to see if change can come. But we're not going to cry if change doesn't come. That means that the people choice. We will just live the best life we can live. Some of our lifespan short. We're on the downside of life. It's the people who coming up, the young people that I'm worried about. Look, I read a paper that a young Liberian coming up will only get to 30% of their productivity, if not. How bad is that? That means there's no opportunity for our young people to develop and grow, or even our current professionals. Okay? We are behind the 8 ball from the start of the game. We are way behind. And we can only catch up if we build our right infrastructure and we start to teach people the right way. And we start to give them the opportunities they deserve. Accelerate those quick learners, those fast people. Let them go. Let them push. Let them be able to get to where they want to get to and to help others. That's how it should be. But who knows people thinking that way? Ruth Roberts. The only obstacle of the CDC plan of action, but they can't easily get at you, so they went into the easy access to like father, like son, who can go for anything, but no matter how they strategize, all in vain, the community are the alternative, and I just can't wait to meet you and have a handshake with you. Ruth, I myself recommend the day you're around to go meet Mr. Cummings, okay? Yes, definitely after the ring, the sun will come up. So we're not disappointed. There's a lot of things over there. I think the same way. We got somebody here, cause that business will give you full heart attack. I thought the weekend review is on Friday. I took by him, but I will never let the people down. Okay. President Weah did the right thing. But anyway, your ANC folks have running belly smart. I don't know what she's talking about. Running belly smart. Because that is true to his word. Okay, we'll see. The thing about this politics thing, it don't have. The relationships will come out. The one person that can bring real change to Liberia is Mr. Cummings. I agree with that. My chief, some of us know very well that Costa isn't even loyal to himself. He talk less of someone else. The man make it clear that he has an agenda and that he's not Christianco. That going Costa going, so I feel sorry for those who don't have their own sense of thinking and reasoning. So sad for them. But the God of Mr. Cummings and the universe will continue to stand with him in fighting the real change. Yeah, we hope so. We hope so. Money, money, money. Some political parties were lately about to set a party to Brother Cassay again for money. If Cecilia again, and I will remove the CDC government. Don't do propaganda on Costa and the CDC. Please, Costa is a Liberian. Well, she meant Liberian. Like, and is free to go back and forth to his country. Oh, but who doing propaganda on Costa? You don't listen, NCC, so now I can feel sorry for you. Just chill and put the politics down small. This is good for our democracy that Costa now has a level playing field. I don't know what more you want Costa for him to have level playing field, but if you think his relationship with Weah is a level playing field, then great. Weah might not even be contesting that one part. I won't know it. Weah is trying to do everything to win. Ruth, I'm a volunteer foot soldier for Mr. Cummings. Oh, wonderful. By my own conviction. Nobody pushes me toward him but God. Thank you, Ruth. President, we are not running. Okay, oh. Ruth looking for other people. Ruth, keep recruiting. Who are leaning towards Cummings like me? Keep recruiting. Indispensable of Winchester. Well, the book is available. You can get a copy of the book. If you want to call me, I can arrange for you to, get a copy of the book. I've shared my number before, I believe. And I can do it again. I think I did a banner before with my number. Oh yeah, I think I did a banner. Oh yeah. Let me edit the banner. So if you want a book, I'm my number right there. You can call me. If I catch any ANC folk posting men naked photos as the newly appointed czar to arrest naked pictures, no, nobody should be posting naked photos. Seriously, that's just against good etiquette, man. People should not post 100 nude pictures. People know it's him. It's enough for that. He made a mistake or somebody took advantage of him. That's what it is. Yeah, brother, I'll bring a Luscious on, but he didn't come on. Oh, since your resignation on COS, how at COS, how's your relationship with Mr. Cummings? Mr. Cummings is a friend. He was a friend before I started working with him, and he still remains a friend because I felt I should not be a distraction to him. And like he said, that doesn't mean our relationship is messed up. I'm sure there's an opportunity to work with Mr. Cummings again. He'll be happy to have me because I'm a professional and he appreciated the role I played with him. So the relationship is good. There you go. This is your woman. I mean, 4 hours of talk with the president is here. Like what? That we're gonna talk that where they say the man told them say if you want to ask about the economy, you'll go ask 12. Anything else, you're gonna go ask Maggie. But I just here to talk about myself, and then he talk about himself for 4 hours. So that what do you want to do about that? No, James Tanon, you are very wrong. If you want my number on there, if you want to hear more, call me. No, man, we are letting because I let my name, but I mean I can't talk about him too. We can. My show not regular King Octavius, but I have a regular one. Today is not regular. I have a regular one on Friday. I want will be 2 p.m. now because it's 6 p.m. in Liberia. So 2 p.m. Liberia, US time, 6 p.m. Liberia time. It's called a week in review. But we're also again trying to have another show, a late night kind of show, old hairs, young hairs, where we want women and men, older men and women, to come and engage younger men and women. For us to try to build a bond between the generations because we need to connect. There's a huge disconnect in so many different ways among us as Liberians. And we need to understand. Some people need to understand what happened back then. Some people need to understand what happened now. What happening now with the young people. They don't understand the strives, the challenges sometimes that some of these young people are going through. So those need to happen. Some of them need to give some guidance on relationships, on career, on opportunities, on how they can go about doing certain things. So we need that connection with each other. Okay, so this is somebody who has a lot of confidence in Henry Sami Duma. Henry Costa has done a lot for the Liberian people, more than many of you guys. Costa is not going anywhere. He remains with us, the opposition. That's fine. Charles J.S. Young. Let's read a book on Liberia's. I think you meant situation and not saturation. But if you're serious again, Charles, my number is right there. We can always write. I mean, for all the things I've written already, I probably got several books. It's just about compiling much of that information into something substantive to publish. Oh God, the teaching in the woman. Hello, woman. Flaman Kamara, you pledge your allegiance to another country, USA. Why don't you focus your attention? No, my country is Liberia. I'm a natural born Liberian. Nobody can take my Liberian citizenship away. You go read your constitution. You read um the decision that was written by, I think that Justice Banks wrote it in a Teach Jallo case. So you got to understand, taking another citizenship, doesn't mean you lose your Liberian citizenship. So Liberians have to understand it. We are Liberians. There are a whole bunch of people in different citizenship statuses from other countries that are still Liberian. You cannot take that Liberianness from somebody. So you're just wasting your time. King Otavia City, just because you didn't get King of, it's a blessing. I didn't work with this government, King. To be honest with you, it's a real solid blessing. No, job is not my issue. And for most people who know me, it's not like I ever wanted to be rich. It's not like I really wanted to work with government. I just want a better Liberia. Any way it comes through, I can live, vicariously through so many other people who are doing the right thing. But we all want is to do the right thing. To do the right thing. When we be committed to doing the right thing, that's all it takes. Do the right thing. Mr. Host, this is from Elizabeth Pecatier. Mr. Host, we need to inform the population there are some senators wishing to destroy Liberian history in relation with America. There is a bill on the floor to change the oath and the flag of Liberia. We shouldn't destroy ourselves. No, changing the oath of allegiance, the national anthem, our, historical symbols and stuff. I don't know that it destroy our relationship with America. Our relationship with America is more substantive than just the symbolism. And that's what America is saying, because they believe that we should, epitomize the democracy. This is a country they invested in, even though to a large extent, we have not realized the value of that investment, that all the aid they gave us. What can we really show for it? That on every dollar, how much are we really getting? Is it 25 cents? So we need to have some real hard conversations with the American government. I don't know if this government has put itself in a position to do that, because the people look at them like rogues, petty rogues. That's how they look at them, misusing their money, and the people seeing it right in the country, people talking right in the country. So they don't have respect for this government. But a government that can come here and command the respect of the US government and be able to work with them to build our institutions, build our country, open economic corridors and opportunities for our people, the US government is willing to do that. I really believe so. All right, we got people watching from different places. Oh yeah, Yanse Gege. That's a fact. Our young people are very talented, but they're not given the opportunity to explore their talent. And look around the world, Liberians who have come out, many have, especially those serious ones, they have progressed significantly. They have been successful. And so now, in a short amount of time, 5-10 years, boom, you see somebody blowing up, somebody doing great things. Liberians can compete any way possible. It's just about, can we afford them the opportunity? Can we not eat the money for, these things like preventive medicine, like TB, a whole year? We didn't have any kind of TB medication, BCG drug or something to that effect. So how many people will die because of that? Or how many people already die because of TB? And that happens. The American government, the American ambassador said it. Well, our health people are taking the money for drugs and taking drugs and doing different stuff with it. So until we care for our people and we want to do the right things, all these things will happen and we'll be suffering. Phila Benjamin Clinton, doctorate in education. Librarians have to want change to begin with. And that's it. So if our people don't want that change, it's not happening. Because by nature, we are recalcitrant people. We hate rules. We hate governance. We want to do our own thing. So if our mindset is not that we really want change, I don't care what I preach, what come and say nothing. People will go the same way. They will do what they want to do. So you write that. Then he said, additionally, there should be the change they want, and Liberia will change. That's a factual statement. You got to demonstrate within yourself the change you want for that change to happen. If you can't do that, if you say you fat overweight and you say you want to lose weight, you sit down every day and eat, you're not losing weight. You got to change your diet. You got to start working out. You got to start breaking down that fat, trying to turn into muscle. That's the only way it's going to happen. If you can't do that, it's not happening. No way will it happen. So, Doc, you're saying some profound things here. Political urchins will continue to exist, but never continue to promote divide if Liberians become the change this one. That's a fact. If we know our purpose as a people and we are committed to a better Liberia, people can't divide us. Nobody can come talk nonsense and we just accept it. You know? So let's really think about this stuff. Let's really think about it. Deep thinking. And we need more people. We need more people out there, to be that. So, it's been a wonderful hour. I really didn't expect to go more than 1 hour. I wanted to really make this a little short, but it's so hard to talk about Liberia and not go into some of the other issues. But suffice it to say that the call between George Weah and Costa was just a hustle call. It's not much. If Costa want to flip over to George Weah, that's his prerogative. He's entitled to it. But he shouldn't use that call as a means to demonize me and say I said nasty things about Claude Weah. I didn't say anything nasty about Claude Weah. Yes, we asked President Weah to be a part of the book, not if he can give us the permission to write the book. He doesn't own that. All the people they write biographies about, no, they don't approve it. They just write. Okay, we give him the privilege to be a part of it. And it's a good book for him. And he was smart. He will start looking at that book and seeing how he can utilize that book to help himself. But, not too many people think President Weah is smart in that way. But President Weah is very smart in terms of hustling. So, and that's where some people underestimate him. The thing is the people behind him. No. The genius of this whole corruption in Liberia is that President Weah. He the one running it. Nothing go by President Weah that he know about. And he got the people there out there. So that's just what it is. Yeah. I really believe the U.S. is willing to help, but we got to make some of these demands. We got to know what we want. Even look at in the concession agreements. We basically sell our country for peanuts simply because some of our big shot won't share in the people company or want direct financial benefits right away. So that suppresses where our country is going. So it's about mindset change. We have to work with our people. We have to encourage them. We have to do all these things to make them change their mind. Once their mind can change to understand what it is to be a good citizen, what it is, well, a better Liberia means, if people can make it visual for them, what Liberia was like before. I used to argue that we never had, oh, you call me? Oh, if you call me, I can call you back. So let's see the person, what this person is saying. Akwe Baguye. This spot right now I'm in Maryland, USA. So Akwe, you the one who called, you can answer the call because we definitely want to have your input. But that number was out there for. Hello?
Hello.
Yes. How are you?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you.
Yeah, so you're trying to call. What's your name and what point you trying to make?
Oh, I have when you mention of Costa is following, let me attack the first thing. What I made is where somebody tried to make Costa into a hero. You getting me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do I mean by that? You are a senior brother to me. I'm a junior brother to you by reason of the age, and Costa is a junior brother to you myself. When I started politics, that was 1985, when my senior brother, who sent me to school, was the Black Action Party chairperson in Bible Secretary District. But then, he was being accused of being a supporter of Kwembaku. And because of that, I left from school by mission when I got in a year. The guys, soldiers were on the look for him, and they told I needed location. I never did nothing with the location. Those guys got me in a year. The first time I ever received, if I know what would have come, but now we'll be alive. By his goodness. I know that soldier came from the superintendent office. So no, either that is a commander, because we joined the army together. Either we got him already. And how I was left alone and have my peace. What's the point? What's the point I want to make? We have been following politics before Costa. The difference between Costa and some before is the big platform that he has, where he reaches distances that we can go. That's the advantage that he has.
Yeah, but people gotta consider that he put work into building that platform. It's not the easiest thing for anybody to wake up 2 o'clock every morning to have a show at 3 o'clock. So you gotta give him that credit and the consistency with which he did it. Nobody can take that away from him.
Very good. And I just to conclude with you, I follow you when they open the people. We got into it, and we know what we did there. Once it comes, for the other folks here, you guys can talk to them when it comes to politics. People can do their propaganda, but there are people that follow Costa. They know better than Costa. And so that because one time I tried to call it, I tried to call it and say, Costa, you did one strange thing that I have never done. And I don't that follow politics in the bureau. That I will get into an election in the race and my candidate loses the election and he went back to support Weah until the time when he could back off. Oh, see, brother, that I have never done. I go into election. He asked me as my candidate lose that election there. I don't have interest in that government.
No, but I disagree with you on that. But we'll talk later. I will, close up on that note. Thank you for calling. No, you see, I disagree with people who say because the candidate lose the election, so then they withdraw from the process. The process we know already going in from the door. That is most likely a two-step process. The first round and the second round. So people got to make preparation for that second round in terms of if I'm not successful, what next? To withdraw your support or not, regardless of what you do, you're going to be a part of that country for the next 6 years with whoever is governing. So why can't you work and find some kind of way, because it stayed before elections, it stayed before the second round, to understand what that person is about, where you can fit in and how your people can probably benefit. Because sometimes politics is about compromise. So we can withdraw from the political situation after a loss simply because we're not in that second round. I think people should start to reconsider how they think about those things. As much as it's difficult to support a competitor, some people don't want to do it. They don't have that stomach to do it. But for me, I think differently. I think at the end of the day, we got to fight for a better Liberia. So even if you put me in our first round and I can be of some service to whatever one of the options in terms of moving Liberia in a more positive direction to help this country grow, to help our young people experience their potential, to help our market women be successful, to take care of the children, all those different major issues that are affecting us that we can help improve, I will be a part of that. So, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for, watching. We look forward to continuing these kinds of engagement. The weekend review, I believe tomorrow we have with us Mulva Kesseley. Mulva Kesseley is a dynamic young personality. We just hope that you tune in tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, 6 p.m. GMT, and we'll bring the weekend review to you. So thank you. Let me play my man Takum J for a little bit because I really enjoy his song. Again, Facebook, we don't want any rights to this song. We are just playing it.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping.
people sue us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people sue us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they can lie. I said we tire with their lies. We tire with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tire with their speech they preach in thee, and now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the sentences to be? See, we just tell you. That's why we will tell you.
Yeah, man.
When you fool us, you screw us, you use us a little, abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie.
Why do leaders lie to the people?
The people fool us.
Yeah, man.
The people lie to us.
They do.
The government betray us.
All right, folks.
They can lie, they can steal, they can lie. They don't want to trust. My people don't want
Good
to
night.
hope.
Have a good evening.
My hope that I have, I've been broken. I'm telling you. So where are the schools?